So I've mentioned before in other videos that after high school, I started taking graphic design classes, which I'm still taking graphic design classes through community college because I like saving money, okay? That's not the point. The point is I'm taking graphic design classes despite the fact that my heart belongs to comic illustration. And that's because I figured the best and easiest way to make money with my creative aspirations was through a degree as versatile as graphic design. And I'm not here to try to sell graphic design to you, but I'm just saying all the classes I've taken so far, I've been able to relate it to my illustration. And it's also, I just want to say, it's really opened up my horizons and it's made me realize that graphic design is something that I also just really enjoy. But it's really awesome to be able to find a connection between the two. I'm taking a class all about brand and branding and brand names and brand strategies and everything. And I feel like this is really important as a creative, as an entrepreneur and a creative, to understand the elements of brand. And I'm going to say I'm not like a professional and I don't know everything about brand, so I'm going to be glossing over some stuff as opposed to going into it in depth. However, these are still elements I feel like all artists should know. You know what I mean? Don't click out of the video. Now, to do what feels like a complete topic switch, I'm going to talk about my older brother, who is in a band called Fugu. The link to their Spotify and their Instagram is going to be in the bio. It would mean a lot to me if you guys check them out. I really like their music. I've been to 2 of their gigs so far, and I absolutely love it. And I'll get into why I'm talking about them in just a moment. But yeah, click on their Spotify link, their Instagram link. It would mean a lot to me. I'm sure it would mean a lot to them, but also they're boys. So I don't know how much anything means to them. Taking graphic design classes, I have been looking for all opportunities to expand my portfolio. So I was like, if you guys need designs for posters and stickers and shirts and whatever, let me provide that for you, because I would love to further exercise the tools that I've been given through taking classes, and then better yet, further expand my portfolio. So that's what I've been doing lately. It's been a really exciting project to take on, and it's really cool. I would suggest artists, it's really easy just to get caught up in your own thing or to feel like you're lost and don't know what you're doing. So a really awesome opportunity, if you don't have like a local band that you can make designs for, then make up your own brand. Make up your own brand to make designs for, to make whatever for. And the great part about me getting this opportunity to make designs for them as well is I feel like we're leaning a lot into like the illustration side of things, which is stuff I love to do. I love to do illustrations, but it's a mix of that and advertisements and stickers and shirts and posters and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about the elements that I am using to help create Fugu's brand name, to create their signature. So I'm going to jump right into important elements when it comes to creating a brand. And that would be demographic, the value to the customer, the goal of the brand, and their values/morals. So it's important to ask these questions when you're building a brand or when you're helping support a brand. And when I say brand, I don't mean like Coca-Cola. I mean like brand could just be like who you are. So it's important also as an artist to like think of these things as you're creating your brand or your signature or your mark on social media, on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it might be. I think it's really valuable to create for yourself these guidelines, not to keep you limited, but actually to help you prosper. When it comes to the demographic, you have to ask yourself, who are you selling to? Or like, whose eyes do you want on your product, on your art, on whatever you're trying to produce? Whose eyes are on that? And it's not like you have to bend what you're doing to the demographic's will. It's not like you have to be like, oh, well, my demographic is younger people, so now I have to switch what I'm doing to make it for younger people. You could look at what you're already making and be like, who is going to want this? Younger people? Great, then I'm going to lean into that. You know what I mean? You don't have to like switch and bend to do something you don't want to do. Just ask yourself, whose eyes are most likely to be on this, and how can I better serve them, serve that demographic? And then that adds into the value to the customer. If it's for teenagers going through high school and you're creating some like sort of book or something like that that's supposed to help aid teenagers going through the troubles of high school, you need to lean into that value for them. Like what is that value? I want to aid them. I want them to feel comfortable and want them to understand that what they feel is normal. So that's what my book, that's what my brand is going to be all about. Now, your goal as a brand, if we're going to keep leaning into this example here, your goal is then to help your teenage customers, your teenage consumers going through high school and hating every second of it. Your goal is to help them feel more comfortable in their skin, help them go through it, realizing that it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? You want to create that goal. And then your values personally the values could be a huge range of things. I think back to, I think it was an advertising class I took where the client was a biodegradable plastic, I think. And they made like trash bags and dog poop bags to pick up dog poop with the bags. But it was all good for the environment. So the values then for that client would be they care a lot about the environment. But then say back to my example client who's making books for teenagers going through high school, their values could maybe be they want to help teenagers with mental health issues and maybe with the unaliving word that I don't know if I can say. I don't know how YouTube works. But maybe their values really lean into that, like mental health. Or maybe their value can be something as simple as just making a teenager feel understood. You know what I mean? So those 4 elements I feel are really important. The demographic, the value to the customer, the goal as a brand, and the values or morals that brand has. So relating it back to my client right now is Fugu, the band. Again, the link to their Spotify and their Instagram is in the bio. So Fugu is really easy for me to work with them for a myriad of reasons. But they're a local band. They're all younger. My brother's 21. I don't know how old the other guys are, but they're around that age. They're 21. So it's really easy for me to help cater to them, to that demographic, because I know what our generation Gen Z likes. I know what's going on. I know what's popular in social media, so I know how to properly give the demographic what they want. The value to the customer is the music, right? The music, so a customer can listen to it, can expand their musical horizons. And with Fugu being on social media, bands on social media then that are kind of forming into becoming like influencers online to help put eyes on their music. They create entertaining content because that's really what sells the most is entertaining content, usually like humorous, comical content. So that could also be an added layer to the value that the band provides is by making social media posts that their demographic would be interested in. The goal is the brand obviously would just to put more eyes on their music. The goal would be to be making money so then they can quit their jobs, so then they can make more music and make better music and then post their music everywhere and have a great studio and this and that. I mean, that's what I would imagine a band's goal would be. And then their values and morals. Now, this is an interesting thing because Fugu's values or morals don't need to be something like environmentalism or mental health. It doesn't need to be that. It can be something as simple as just creating entertaining content. Like that is what they care a lot about, is creating entertaining content and providing entertaining content. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be something as like serious or heavy as like political or psychological or anything like that. It doesn't need to be like that. It can be as simple as just, this is what I'm really passionate about, and this is where my morals and my values lie. They lie in my passion, which would be to entertain the masses. You know, I feel like as an artist, we can relate to that. We can relate to wanting people to put their eyes on our things so that I know as a comic illustrator, I want to entertain people. I want to tell good stories. I want people to be into my stories. That's really where my passion, my values, my morals, that's where it lies. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm answering those questions with my clients. So you should ask yourself as well as an artist online, or if you have a client or whatever it might be, ask yourself, who's the demographic? What's the value? What's the goal? What's the morals? You know what I mean? Ask yourself all these questions. And a really important element I forgot to mention in the beginning, but I'll mention now, is how does this brand stand out from the competitors? So you need to ask yourself that as an artist, how does my art stand out from my competitors? Is it that I make fan art memes? You know, I've attracted this fandom, but all these other artists attract this fandom. How can I rise above, get more eyes on me? I'll make memes because not all the other fan artists are making memes. So I'll make memes, right? or I'll make more traditional art, or I'll make it in this Renaissance style that people haven't done before for this fan art, for this fandom. So I'll do that to rise above and get more eyes on my stuff. I mean, that's a goal. That's a good thing to have. That's a good thing to be focusing on, is how can I stand out? How can I be better? So as a brand, of course, it's important to ask those questions. So with Fugu, the brand, I will say where I'm from, it is unbelievably easy to walk into the back room of a bowling alley, pay $5, and watch 4 local bands perform live. It is be under every corner. Every corner. Every corner, there's a bar, there's a church, and there's bowling alley where you can pay $5 to watch a local band. That's where I live. That's the city I'm from. It's kind of awesome. It's really fun. But it makes the competition really hard, for sure. So you have to ask yourself, how do you stand out from that? How do you stand out from this like heavily populated demand already? How do you get more eyes on you? It's simple. I think it's simple. You have to be personable. And the great thing about Fugu, and what I've noticed at the 2 gigs I've gone to by them, is that compared to the other bands, the things they sing about are just simply more lighthearted, and it's a lot more funny. Okay, again, the link to their Spotify is in the bio. You can listen to their music, and you can find, like, they have a song about shrimp at Costco. I ain't no shrimp. I'm one in a trillion. That's what they sing about. They have one about ChatGPT. I love that song. I love all their songs, actually. They're great. I love Fugu. I love my brother. That's the biggest thing that made them stand out to other bands, and it was a great thing to just put a spotlight on when you're listening to like one band after another. It's like this one band, and they're like, "Oh, Midwest emo, I'm sad. Now I'm gonna scream, and now I have distortion on my guitar." And then you listen to the next band, it's like, "Oh, I'm sad. Now I'm gonna scream, and I have distortion on my." And then you listen to Fugu, and they're like, ChatGPT, ChatGPT. You know what I mean? So that's what's really awesome about Fugu. I really appreciate about that band, and that's what drawed me to be like, let me make designs for you guys, because it's gonna be freaking easy, because you guys stand out from the rest. You guys, compared to the competition, like, you have something really special. Demographic, value, goal, morals, and how you stand out, right? It's the thumb right there. How you stand out. So now, after explaining all of that to you, I want to show you some of the designs I've put together. The demographic, as we know, being Gen Z, being younger, it's easy to make memes and funnies and sell it to people because we like to wear memes and funnies. I have a shirt that's like the Gorillaz Dare album that has the South Park characters. Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and Kenny, and it says South Park. Or no, it's not Dare, it's Demon Days. So I have a file with my Fugu designs that I've come up with so far. I do everything on Adobe. Well, I draw all on Procreate with my iPad, and then with my designs, I do everything on Adobe, obviously, because it's required with the classes that I take. So anyway, this is one of the designs I've made for them so far. I feel like it works really well for a shirt. Like, I don't think this would make a great sticker. It would have to be kind of big as a sticker, and you could put it as a social media post as well, just maybe to advertise the shirt. But it works really well because another thing about Fugu is their references to media, like the ChatGPT one, right? Or they also have a song Air Fryin' and Lion, and they have whatever. So their references to media, and with it being Gen Z, a great way to cater to that audience is to connect to something that everyone can like relate to, which would be playing old video games. So that's why I really like this one. It's a reference to Legend of Zelda, as you can tell. There's Link. So, and then this is supposed to be a sword, but I replaced it with Fugu's logo. So it says Fugu, the band name, and then this is Japanese for pufferfish, because that's what Fugu means. Fugu is Japanese for pufferfish. Another thing that really works about this design is the fact that this is has been a meme since the beginning of the internet. Is people will say it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and then they'll have a picture of a cat, because everyone likes pictures of cats. Now this one I really like, because this is, I really like this one, and this could work as a shirt and also a sticker. And I just want to say, first and foremost, I'm still trying to figure out if this image like belongs to anyone, and I cannot find out for the life of me online to see if this image belongs to anyone. So for right now, it's the placeholder image until I can figure out, yes, we can make designs of this and make money off of it. So this image could potentially be replaced. But the great thing about this is Fugu's whole thing, right? The puffer fish, right? That's the name. Fugu, the logo itself, puffer fish. So it's got the like hyper realistic photo of the puffer fish, and it says lock in, which is a common slang for my generation to say lock in, which means like focus. So then the connection between like, oh, focus, and then it's like hyper realistic. So it's like, laughing about lock in. I hate Gen Z slang because I feel like when you explain it, it sounds so stupid, but it makes sense. I swear it just makes sense. Let me bring up the actual Fugu logo. Oh, and its name is Mr. Puff. How fitting. It's perfect. It's wonderful. So that's the logo. There he is. He's great. He's wonderful. Look, I even have a sticker. I remade it in Illustrator because it's going to be a lot easier for me than to like add this into other designs that I make, with it being the logo. And it's just more professional to have it in Adobe Illustrator. There's the logo. I mean, they look pretty damn similar. I went right over it. I don't know. It still looks like kind of different. I don't even know how I did that because I literally just traced it. Like I just went right over it. There you go. There's the logo, which is kind of what's I haven't done pixel art before, but I found a program online. I used Pixel Art free online to create it. Great website, worked really well. I was able to not really run into ads on my computer, but when I tried again to do it on my iPad, I ran into a lot of ads. But it works really well. Works super, super well. And then that's how I was able to make that little logo right there, which is super awesome. Other designs I've made. So this is gonna be a design for one of the posters, which again, there's that connection to the retro Game Boy, and then it's got them in this like Street Fighter style. Again, I tried. I did my best I could in the pixel art. I'm not very experienced in pixel art. So it's very likely that these will be replaced with a different version so that they look kind of better, but then it's got the Street Fighter background. It's got that classic like off-green screen. So this is what a poster advertisement is going to look like in the future. They have a gig in March, so I hope that I'll be able to use this for that. If not, I can use it for another one. I even have a sketch for another advertisement / poster design for another one of their gigs, hopefully one in the summer. And I'll show it right there because it looks all summery. And look, it's Green Hills. Got the loop-de-loop and the palm trees for Green Hills. So again, like every design I make, I ask myself, how does this cater to the demographic, and how does this help support the overall signature that Fugu has as a brand? You should ask yourself that. What does the signature look like? The signature is these elements that I've been sharing: the demographic, the value, the goal, the morals, how it stands out. That is the signature of a brand. And it includes the logo, and it includes the font face, the typeface that you would be using. It includes a consistent style so that people can look at something and they can be like, that reminds me of Fugu. Or that they can look at something that, a design that Fugu has, and they can be like, yeah, that's Fugu. You know what I mean? It's important to have that consistency, because even though brands change over time, they have still consistent signature, and it can still mold and it can change and it can form, but it's got consistency to some extent. Something that I found exciting about making designs for Fugu is that I was able to again add in my illustration expertise to create a mascot for Fugu, which mascots are really cool. I love mascots. I love making mascots. That is just a character that like represents a brand, right? So Mr. Puff is their logo, right? The silly little, it's supposed to be a puffer fish. I didn't even know that till I realize that his name was Mr. Puff and that Fugu is Japanese for pufferfish. I didn't know that he was a pufferfish. But it works really well, right? Because it's very different. He looks like an alien almost. That's kind of what I thought he was at first. Like just some strange creature that represented the silliness that resides in the four members that makes up the four nations that makes up the band Fugu. This is the mascot. These are like the little designs I came up with for the mascot. This is Mr. Puff. I really like his design. The guys liked his design. I love this Miku design. There's a weird correlation with Miku and Fugu, and the correlation is that my brother, the drummer, wore a Hatsune Miku shirt. But maybe they'll make a song about Hatsune Miku. I don't know. Everyone loves Hatsune Miku. Everyone loves Hatsune Miku. Everyone. To help support the signature of the brand, I drew Mr. Puff as Link from Legend of Zelda. And it says Fugu, it's got the Japanese, and there he is. He's freaking adorable, and I love him, and I hope the guys are going to make this a sticker because I think this would make an awesome sticker. I think he's so cute, and perfect advertising for social media. Post on social media, and people scroll through and they see it, and they're like, oh my god, what is this? This is a cute little guy. What is he, a fish or something? Or an alien or something? But a fish, and he's dressed as Link. That's freaking awesome. And it continues this ongoing theme of correlation to media and video games especially. And then also Mario. Come on, man. How could I skip it on Mario? There's Mario. Mario, Mr. Puff. He's got the P for Puff and everything. I love them. I love these designs so much. When I made them immediately, I was like, this is freaking awesome. And I was originally going to make the logo like coming out of this, but that didn't really work well. I think it looks fine just like that. That's how I've been taking what I'm learning in my graphic design classes and applying it to my personal projects, working with Fugu, the band. Link to their Spotify is in the bio, okay? And that's how I've been connecting it to things that I'm really passionate about. And these are things to ask yourself as well, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a fellow creative. Ask yourself, how can I build a brand signature? How can I build my signature? What does my signature look like? I think these are important things to ask when you have that consistency. Then you get a faithful following of people. You get faithful consumers that will come to you time and time again for their needs. You know what I mean? I hope this video was of some help. I hope you guys learned something new. Create for yourself that worksheet and answer those questions. What's my demographic? What's my morals? What's my goals? What's this and that? Ask yourself those things, answer all those questions, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with, one, what you can come up with, and two, the growth that will follow, right? So, and I also just wanted to explain what I've been working on lately. Overall, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe and listen to Fugu. Thank you.
It's dedicated to all the boys and girls in the world who don't know how to cook, and it's called Air Frying and Lying. Yeah! A girl, a man, flash, the pan. You say I drive you up a wall and that's valid. It's like a flame, a salt, take a wave, a salt. Still on your crying and lying. Tell me girl, I ain't lying. Say that you want a connection, but you're breaking my heart with connection. That your love is making nothing out of progress, and I'm crying. Just like Chick-fil-A, but you're worst.